We have Hamid Saeed from Pakistan. Hamid Saeed is heading one of the technology, media and technology company in Pakistan. Also, he is working with a lot of universities as a motivational speaker, doing a lot of work in a very young age. And today he's coming to join us as a guest speaker on how technology support and minimize gender-based violence. So, Hamid Said, floor is over to you for your speech.
Thank you very much, Dr. Khan and Team CDF for having me as a speaker this time in this international conference and this activation. So first of all, I'm really humbled to being surrounded by this much, talented ladies and really, a big shout out to all of you for doing amazing stuff and being an inspiration for so many others. Right, so I'll quickly jump to my topic that is how tech support can minimize gender-based violence. Okay, so firstly, a good day to everyone. It is an honor to stand before you guys as a CEO Shahruh Technologies. So at Shahruh Technologies, it is at our core, and we are committed to leveraging technology for positive social impact. And today, the topic that I'm going to address is related to gender-based violence and how technology, including technologies like artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and last but definitely not the least, cybersecurity. How cybersecurity can play a pivotal role in combating these challenges. So, firstly, I'll talk about the topic itself. In topic, we say how tech support can minimize gender-based violence. So, I wondered why it is not saying that how tech support can eradicate gender-based violence. So we are only talking about minimizing it at the moment because we realize that the issue is really big. And at the moment, what we can do, I believe we can minimize it, right? So that's what the topic says. So that tells us the current situation. So the current reality is that gender-based violence being a global crisis. So UN says that every one in three women worldwide experience either physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. So this is huge. This is like 33%. So while making any policies, I work with many policymakers, being their data consultant, being their tech consultant. So when we come across such figures, so if such kind of data is there, so we need to be really aware that what kind of technology we are going to use. So in technology sphere, we have so many new platforms. We have social media booming around. So the technology sphere trying to help here is actually also creating new problems in this sphere. So we are seeing another kind of violence that I didn't mention above is the cyber bullying and the cyber kind of violence. So that we also need to combat. And why don't we use technology uh, to beat technology, right? I was just going to write some notes for this meeting, and I used technology for that. I simply asked what experts has already said, and I simply asked AI that what AI has to say about it. And AI told me that AI can create problems for women in this sphere, and how we can use AI to prevent that by doing monitoring of online behaviors. So we don't let anyone being in our close friend list. We monitor their behavior using AI algorithms and using all the advanced tools by these social media platforms that they are providing us, and then doing real-time flagging and removing harmful content and people in that sphere. We can also perform predictive analytics to minimize that effect. And then we can provide virtual assistants to the victims. So firstly, we need to avoid any kind of victimization. But if it is there, so AI being a technology, a tool can help using chatbots, using emotional support, using technological support to these victims. VR, on other hand, I'll try to keep it quick. So VR, on the other hand, can help us in training over law enforcement agencies. So we need to keep everything integrated, and that is the power of technology. That using technology, you can integrate so many things. You can integrate your national identity. You can integrate your law enforcement agencies. You can integrate your social media platforms under one roof, because whenever violence happens, it happens for a reason. because the violent person do it because he thinks that he's not answerable to anyone. He's not gonna get punished for it. So that is the reason he do it. But when he knows that there is a law enforcement agency that can take action on it. And here we also need to, change our mindset a bit. It's not related to technology, but it's related to mindset. So I was listening to, the last speaker. So she was saying few things that were more related to the, the brought up of children, how we, brought them up. So we kind of make an analogy that violence is a form of sin. Yeah, it is a sin, but it is a crime meanwhile. So we need to, treat a crime like a crime. So we need to tell the person who is committing this crime that he is answerable before law, and he can be traced using the technology. So those days are over when these bullies and these violent people used to hide behind any other thing. Now everything is transparent and everything is traceable. So I'm emphasizing on this word traceable. So now we are living in a sphere where everything is traceable with the help of technology, and these bullies really need to worry. uh, it's a nightmare for them. So lastly, the cybersecurity thing. So we as tech expert, we are trying our best to build safe digital spaces for anyone joining these kind of spaces. We are trying to integrate anti-stalking technologies. We are here to provide digital evidences whenever they are demanded. So these are kind of things we can use for technology use. And then there is education side, where we can do campaigns, interactive platforms, and digital storytelling for spreading the awareness. Because this is this is a big problem. See, I have personally seen a lot of violent people, and when I when I saw these stats, so even UNDP report told me that every one out of three women is facing violence, and I was like, wait a minute. When we say gender-based violence, so where we have told that it is only against women, we haven't talked about that. It's gender-based violence. It can be against men. It can be against the third gender. It can be against anyone, right? So it's gender-based violence, but it's not, violence against women. So we really need to, grasp uh, the kind of breadth the topic has. So gender-based violence, we need to work on that, and we need to educate the people in our media industry, especially as Dr. Khan rightly mentioned that I am quite focused on media industry right now, because what we especially if I'm representing Pakistan, what we are showing uh, on television, on in movies and in games, in cartoons, especially in the Pakistani region, so the kind of content we are producing is really violent, and it is kind of motivating the new generation towards violence. So what kind of games they are playing, what kind of cartoons they are seeing, what kind of movies they are watching, what kind of dramas they are watching, we really need to work on that, and we really need to make them as non-violent as we can. And lastly, again, about the prevention side of it, I have talked about the role of AI, but lastly, technology is also helping using the variables, right? So if we need to prevent these kind of things, so there are variable technologies that like a smart watch, and sensors and things like that, and the GPS technology, global positioning system, where in case of any such emergency, you can tell your loved ones that you are in some problem, right? So in Pakistan, we have lot of ride sharing companies. I believe that Uber and Careem are global ones, so all the speakers might know. So in Uber and Careem, what we can do, we can simply integrate a very simple wearable technology where you are wearing a watch, and whenever you feel uncomfortable or unsafe, you simply press that button, and your live location through GPS will be transmitted to your loved one, and it is already in practice, right? So these are kind of things that we can use, and we must use them, because prevention is better than being victimized and then talking about that. So I always say that all the good things have been told already. All we need to do is to act upon them. So I was listening to the amazing speakers, and this phrase is very true, because all the good things all the speakers have already told. I haven't added any new good. All the good things have been already told. All we all need to do is to act upon these things. Take the call of action, as Dr. Khan is doing a wonderful job. So we need to, synergize with all of the people who are doing amazing stuff, and do the action. It's time for action now. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Hamid, for the wonderful discussion and very friendly discussion, because everyone is enjoying with you. So, the very understandable discussion for everyone. So, thank you so much for adding. You can't say this that I didn't add anything new. So, every single word is new from another person. So, thank you so much for this great contribution on this gender-based violence campaign. And yes, we must say that this is not only the violence is not only specific and specified with the women only. So gender-based violence can be the harmful for all forms of persons in any age, in any race, in any nation. So yes, that's why we are focusing on the collective voices. We are focusing on the global voices, and we are focusing to cater the different traditions, cultures, languages with us. So we are trying to contribute to prevent this stigma. So thank you so much for joining us. And now we are moving forward